Stage 1. Facing reality. Fourth day. Evil rooted in the heart. Pleading for mercy. Response. The aim is to respond personally and collectively to the call of conversion.
Scripture reading is taken from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 to 32. Then Jesus said, There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the property that will belong to me. So he divided his property between them. A few days later, the younger son gathered all he had and traveled to a distant country, and there he squandered his property in dissolute living. When he had spent everything, a severe famine took place throughout that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed the pigs. He would gladly have filled himself with the pods that the pigs were eating, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself he said, How many of my father's hired hands have bread enough, and to spare? But here I am dying of hunger. I will get up and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me like one of your hired hands. So he set off and went to his father. But while he was still far off, his father saw him, and was filled with compassion. He ran, and put his arms around him, and kissed him. Then the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his slaves, Quickly, bring out a robe, the best one, and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger, and sandals on his feet. And get the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead, and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to celebrate. Now his elder son was in the field. And when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the slaves, and asked what was going on. He replied, Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he has got him back safe and sound. Then he became angry and refused to go in. His father came out, and began to plead with him. But he answered his father, Listen. For all these years I have been working like a slave for you, and I have never disobeyed your command. Yet, you have never given me even a young goat, so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came back, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fatted calf for him. Then the father said to him, Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, because this brother of yours was dead, and has come to life. He was lost, and has been found.
If you are doing this preparation session alone, I invite you to focus on the phrase or word from the scripture just read, that has or have struck you, and spend a few moments reflecting on this word or phrase. On the other hand, if you are doing this in a group, I invite you now to echo or read aloud the phrase or word from the scripture that has or have struck you. All participants are given ample time to echo the word or phrase that touched them. Commentary. What is our response to the call to conversion? Within us we often perceive more or less simultaneously. The presence of the two brothers. At times we see ourselves as great sinners, like the younger son. At other times, we hold on to self-righteousness and think there is nothing wrong with us. But deep down we experience sadness, anger, and very little faith, just like the elder son. How does the father respond to the situation? He conquers the rebellious heart of his younger son by means of a silent embrace or a silent kiss. He put his arms around him and kissed him. On the other hand, he conquers his elder son by means of a heart-to-heart dialogue. Thus, the way of the heart is the most authentic response to the call to root out evil from our life. We need to become more familiar with the language of the heart, interiorize the embrace of the Father, relish the taste of forgiveness, and understand that it's not our feeling righteous or good that saves us, but our feeling loved.
Guide question for personal reflection and sharing. In my conversion process, how are the two brothers present and responding in me?